Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another Marvel Legendary video. This is going to be sort of part 2 slash new speculation and just general discussion about the second edition for Marvel Legendary. If you didn't catch it from a few days ago, which at this point I'm sure you have, Upper Deck announced second edition, and we used a post by Bageltop to kind of go over some of the stuff that was talked about. So shout out to him on making this post. And I'll have the link to this thread in the description below. Also, we're going to take a look at, and I've already opened it, some of the, that's my spreadsheet. So some of the cards that have been shown, we're going to go over those. Again, that's his stuff. So I'm sure you follow him, but if you don't, go check him out. But he gathered all this information and updated a lot of this thread with new information. So I did want to just kind of talk about it. The main thing about this discussion, well, first off, y'all didn't tell me how terrible I looked the other day. My face was not shaved and my hair was not cut, so now it's better. I looked like a mess. But the big thing is that Deadpool, there was like a rumor that they didn't have licensing for Deadpool, so he was removed, and Miles Morales was who he was exchanged with. And through here, and it may be even in here, this is the back of the box. The back of the box explicitly says 15 classic heroes from the core set with all new original artwork. Now, we do know from the original core set there were 15 heroes. So that makes it pretty clear that at the very least we're swapping out one for another in Deadpool for Miles Morales. So if you haven't seen already, I posted a community poll on the channel asking what you guys are going to do with your original set. So if you haven't voted on that, please let me know. Please go ahead and do that and let me know what you guys think. I'm kind of caught in between two different camps on that. We'll kind of talk about that later in the discussion. But we know the playmat is this Doctor Doom playmat, which is absolutely sick. I'm a big fan of this. And they're also showing the cost of sidekicks and shield officers because this comes with sidekicks. So that's another thing. So we're going to do some more speculation on how the breakout of the set's going to be. But there's a new Ultron card there. There's a new Magneto card. He's 9+, which I think the original said he's 8. So that's a new thing. The Cosmic Cube scheme looks different. The Emma Frost, this looks really good. This image looks really good. This artwork is super good. I'm a big fan of these changes. So anyway, so it says top secrets, intrigues, all-out war, cosmic skill, destruction. When new threats emerge and evolve, the world looks to the greatest heroes to save the day once again. When you're Spider-Man, Iron Man, Captain America, Wolverine, Hulk, Thor, or many other heroes, your work is never done, and you can never fully be prepared for what comes next. The second edition of core set for Legendary, a Marvel deck building game, reintroduces 15 classic heroes from the core set with all new artwork. You'll put their time-tested powers and abilities to the test against new epic masterminds and villains as they work on diabolical schemes. Now, epic, I wonder if that means that there will be epic sides. I mean, I think so, but it could be a double thing there. While you recruit new sidekicks and rescue new bystanders along the way. For new players and battle-tested experts alike, the second edition core set offers unforgettable new adventures in the universe of Marvel Legendary. So we know 550 cards, 60 dividers. So that's going to be like the typical dividers. Keyword, reference guide, playmat, and a rulebook. So let's just kind of go back to the thread here and kind of pick up where we left off. Now, the big thing is Deadpool is getting removed for Miles Morales. There is some speculation in the thread here a little bit about how maybe Nick Fury's missing. I've got some thoughts on that in a bit. So Jason Walker, he does the Legendary League stuff. He's got some stuff here. So among the reveals, a new Mastermind, Red Skull Mastermind, a new Sinister Syndicate villain group with Boomerang and Beetle. So it's a new villain group entirely. Cosmic Cube has updated on its art and each twist. Hand Ninjas have been updated. Spider-Man has 3 new cards. The fourth card is right now unknown, but I think Bageltop has the images for that, so we'll take a look. Storm has been updated. Cyclops has been up. The Cyclops artwork is incredible. Okay. And then Spider-Foes is now Sinister Spider-Foes with Lizard, Goblin, and Venom. And I think the main omission of that is that Dr. Octopus has been removed and Venom's been put in. References sidekicks. Iron Man uncommon the same, rare slightly different. Sentinels are unchanged, and the artwork for that's awesome too. So And here's Bageltop's video. I'm sure if you haven't checked this out, go check that out. He knows more than I do. This is mostly a speculation thing, and I'm using some of his resources. But we're going to talk about, we can get into Weapon X too. So we'll get into that. But, so Hydra Man's also part of this sinister syndicate. Magneto interacts with tech cards and also leads in any Brotherhood or X-Men villain group. Epic Mastermind, Special Bystanders, new schemes, and sidekicks confirmed. 15 heroes. Hulk and Thor confirmed. The only ones that haven't been confirmed are Nick Fury and Deadpool. And we know Deadpool's been removed. Juggernaut has a new ambush ability. And there's a new unrevealed mastermind. And yes, Dr. Octopus is the speculated one for that. So we're going to go back to the card count breakdown and see what we think, how it's going to be broken out, given we have the new information. The big question that I posed on my poll is, what are you going to do with your original set? And so... okay, so let's take a look at this. Again, check out the thread. There may be more updates on it. This will unless something major comes out, like super duper major, and Nick Fury being swapped out for another hero, or the Mastermind being revealed to be Dr. Octopus, whatever. We're probably not going to do any more speculation, and we'll probably work on this as we get closer to the release. But let's take a look at the cards that have been revealed. So this is from Bageltop, so shout out to him for this. We have Red Skull Hydra Overlord. Now, what makes this interesting is that he has a different title than Red Skull. It's Hydra Overlord specifically. It's going to, again, lead me into sort of that discussion of what we're going to do with the old set, with the new set, things like that. So he gets +1 attack for each Hydra villain in the city and or escape pile. He leads any Hydra villain group. And Master Strike is each player reveals a black hero or discards down to 4 cards. We've got some tactics here. I'm not as interested in those. Yeah, that's fine. Artwork looks great. We have Magneto. We know he's 9+. We can see that there's a tech card here, but the box art, unfortunately, is not high res. We know Doctor Doom, I think, assuming that everything's the same for Doctor Doom. Loki, we know, assuming these schemes are the same as well. But we have the Cosmic Cube, so it says twist 1 through 3, each player discards a card. 4, each player discards 2 cards. 5 and 6, player gains a wound. 7, each player gains 2 wounds, and Evil wins on twist 8. The Mystique artwork, great. Absolutely great. This artwork in general is incredible. So there's, assuming enemies of Asgard again, we've got Hydra, Masters of Evil possibly. There's a new Ultron. It's hard to tell with the box art there from the box art. So Sinister Spider Foes. They've been renamed from Spider Foes, Sinister Spider Foes. Lizard, Scorpion, Green Goblin, Venom. Green Goblin captures a bystander, put him on the bridge. If there's any villains there, swap them. Venom, this is new. He gets +1 for each hero he has, and then Ambush Venom captures a hero from the sidekick deck, and for each hero that costs 2 or less in the HQ fight, you may gain a hero captured by Venom. Put the rest on the bottom of the hero deck and/or sidekick deck as appropriate. The new villain group is Sinister Syndicate. So this is Beetle. It says count your red heroes and draw that many cards when you fight her, which is fun because from a Marvel Champions perspective, Beetle is the signature nemesis to Wasp, and then Wasp in this game has a bunch of red cards, so that's kind of a fun tie between the two games that isn't, I'm sure, intentional, but just a fun little crossover there. And then you've got Boomerang. Reveal the top card of the villain deck. If it's a villain, put Boomerang in the place of that and play the villain. And then Hydro Man. We've got Henchmen, the Hand Ninjas. So if you fight Hand Ninjas in the sewers, rooftops, kill one heroes, otherwise get one recruit. So this is nice. That Sentinel artwork is so good. Oh, it's so good. Black Widow. We know we've got Black Widow here. Spider-Man. So all of his cards are revealed. The artwork is incredible. And this is going to be such a better Spider-Man. I'm so stoked to use regular Spider-Man because of this. So Spider-Man, witty banter, 2 attack. If you play a yellow hero, gain a sidekick. 2/2, great. Web shooters, 1 attack. Play a black hero, you get +1. Reveal top card of your deck, cost 2 or less, draw it. His uncommon, astonishing strength. Reveal top card of your deck, cost 2 or less, draw it. If you play a green hero, if it costs 0, you may KO instead. And then finally, with great power, reveal top 2 cards of your deck, draw each time that costs 2 or less, put the rest back in any order. If you play a spider hero, instead rescue a bystander, then do the above effect, but revealing 3 cards. We've got Jump Dimensions for this, the Wolverine card, the Captain America card. So we've got Avengers Assemble, Get +1 for each hero class. Ah, they've changed this. This used to be color. Now it's hero class. Gray cards don't count anymore. Interesting. Okay. So I wonder if that's going to be something that gets... I wonder on the old stuff... So we'll talk about the discussion in a bit, but that's interesting change. So hero class, and then Vibranium Shield. Once per turn, when a player gains wound, you may reveal this card to return the wound to the wound deck and draw a card. Man, you cannot tell me the Cyclops. This is the illest Cyclops artwork ever. This Cyclops, oh my god, this Cyclops is so good. It is so good. This might be the best artwork. This is top 3 artwork in the whole game. I'm calling it right now. This Cyclops artwork is so good. It is so good. I can't get over how good this... Oh my god, this artwork is so sick. Okay. All right, Cyclops. Same as always. To play this, you must discard a card. To play this, you must discard a card. Now, this is a change for Cyclops. It's uncommon. When a card effect causes you to discard this card from your hand, you may return to your hand. I think the original just said discard this, so you could technically do it from your deck. And then I think this effect is similar. Golly, that artwork is so good. It's so good. It is so good. I don't even like Cyclops like that, but man, that's good. Okay, Emma Frost, Rogue or Gambit, Hawkeye, Hulk, Iron Man. So I'm a little torn on the Iron Man design because this is very much like the Marvel Champions design. It's like a newer design. I kind of like the other one just because it's like OG, but it's fine. The changes here is that if this is instead of playing, so I think the one Repulsor Rays, I think it's 3 cost, 2 attack. You play a blue hero, you get +1 attack. So this has been changed. If you play at least 8 other cards this turn, you get +2 attack. So it's stronger, but you have to play 8 cards. I think this still draws like normal. You get +1 for each other black hero you've played this turn, and then draw 2 cards. You play an Avengers hero, draw 2 more cards. So it's really leaning into the team Avengers aspect versus the color aspect that it was with before. So assuming this is black, because they'll synergize with these two, and it's a common, and this makes you draw, that's how these are going to combine. So this is probably going to stay the same if I were to guess. Nick Fury, we don't know that he's here. Rogue, here's all of Storm. Oh, that artwork is so good. Dude, the artwork in this is so good. Okay. So... Storm, so this is, you play a blue hero, you get +2 recruit. Thunderbolt, you get +2 usable only in villains on the rooftops. If you play a blue hero, you can use that bonus attack on the Mastermind. This lets you may swap a villain to another city space. If another villain's there, swap them or move them. And then you get +3, her rare +3 usable against the villains in the sewers or bridge. You may use this bonus attack against the Mastermind instead. So that's pretty straightforward there. We know we're getting special bystanders. So our shield agents and our troops look great. The shield officers. And now this is interesting, and we're going to come back to this in a bit. So colors. I don't know. I'm assuming this is like how this is going to be. And then we have our wounds, which look good. And they've also put the 0 cost on the bottom of those, which we knew has always been there. Like it's always technically counted that way. But ever since the after the core set, they've actually put that on the card. So we know 0 cost. If you don't recruit or fight anything on your turn, you may KO all the wounds in your hand. We know that we have our bystanders, which I like the design of this. Our scheme twists look good. And then our master stripes we don't know. And then we have this, the playmat. So now I think that... So if you think about the original set, right? We had the 6 Avengers, or 7 Avengers, right? Let me see. This should be... So we had Black Widow, Captain America, Iron Man, Hawkeye, Hulk, and Thor. So that's the 6 Avengers. We had 6 X-Men in Cyclops, Emma Frost, Rogue, Gambit, Storm, and Wolverine. And then we had Spider-Man, Deadpool, and Nick Fury. Now, those were weird because Spider-Man was the only spider character, and we didn't get another spider character until Paint the Town Red. The Deadpool was just no team, and then Nick Fury was S.H.I.E.L.D., and S.H.I.E.L.D. at least comboed off of like your starter cards and stuff, so it made sense. The exclusion of Deadpool, I know it's due to like, it seems like it's due to licensing, or at least that's what people are saying. It makes sense to swap out Deadpool for a very popular Spider-Man character to synergize the Spider-Man and have more. And plus, it makes it to where like you can use these guys and like actually have these effects work better. So I think this is a positive change from this, setting aside the fact that we're losing a character. This is good to add a spider character. Now, if Nick Fury is in here, it would still be fine because it complements all the starter cards and you can kind of do some stuff with the starter cards. But if he's not in here, I don't know who the other character would be. To me, it seems like you maybe would want to do another spider character and then leave it like 3, 6, and 6. Because I don't know what other Avenger you'd add, and the X-Men, I don't know who other X-Men you would add. So, but I don't know what other spider character you'd add because you have all the multiversal stuff from Secret War sets. You've got the symbiote suit from Paint the Town Red. You have Scarlet Spider from Paint the Town Red. You've got Black Cat from Paint the Town Red. So I don't know. I think Nick Fury would still be fine. Now, there is some thought about the shield officers being colors, and that's interesting because it would line up a little bit with how the Matrix and the Alien set are, and they actually gave hero classes to them to better synergize with the characters in those as you recruit them off the top. Because I think right now, if you were to really like think about how they're being used today, I don't think the shield officers they're like the least utilized thing to recruit because so many cards have the ability to recruit 3 cost. It's not. So I think adding color to them makes them more interesting and more viable, and it's going to be interesting to see if like there is going to be straight up gray one. I mean, this is a gray one right here. So assuming this is not just reused art, this is not like a reused border. Like I don't know where this image is from. So it could be that we have this and we have color ones, and I think somebody talks about it in here. Somebody talks about it in here. Let me see if I can find it. Nope. At least I thought somebody did. Nope. Okay, however, he did say some shield officers will have classes. Don't know if the rest of the box. Okay. So yeah, here's some other stuff. So it's completely compatible with all expansions. I don't know if they're going to offer second edition sets. Wait, I don't know if they'll make other second edition sets with earlier sets or just pick and choose and make one big box. I can see them doing that again if it more aligns with the original core. That's a speculation. Releasing early 2025. All keywords so far will be in the rulebook. On one hand, that's great. Yeah, so we know that all keywords up until a point will be in that rulebook, which is great, which is nice. We can have one rulebook to rule them all. Okay, so I kind of want to, while we're here, let's take a look at Weapon X stuff, and then we'll go into some speculation on the core box. So we do have some Weapon X stuff with the rulebook. We've got Berserk is back from X-Men. Berserk enemies. So when you try to fight an enemy that has Berserk, discard the top card of your deck. The enemy gets plus attack equal to the discarded printed attack on that thing. So we do have that. Fail some Berserk. It says fail, you gain a wound. So failing that, you don't defeat them. We have Weapon X sequence. Lethal success of the Weapon X program. And we'll go over this when Weapon X comes out in a couple months. But it says on a hero, Weapon X sequence means you get attack. You have plus attack equal to the longest sequence of different printed costs amongst your numbers on your cards. So your cards include both your cards you've played and in your hand. So for example, the cards in your hand are 0, 4, 2, 7, 3, and 3. You'll get plus 3 because you have a 2, 3, 4 sequence. That makes sense. On a hero, it means you get plus attack to the longest sequence of different printed. On the enemy, it's the longest sequence in the HQ. Printed and printed costs are literally what's printed. And we have a new wound type, Enraging Wounds. And we'll see some images about those. And then, so we have 4 heroes, 2 villain groups, 3 masterminds, 10 enraged wounds, and 3 schemes. So that's the composition here. So of those, we have Omega Red as one of the masterminds. Omega Red gets plus 2 if you have any wounds, and plus 2 while there are any wounds in your discard pile. You may KO any wounds for the first time. When you KO any wounds for the first time in a turn, put them on the bottom of the wound deck and gain a wound to the bottom of your deck. And then it says he leads any villain group, and it says each player discards one of their red heroes or gains a wound, and we have a tactic here. He's 10 attack. Romulus, I don't know who this is from like a X-Men or Weapon X standpoint, but there's another mastermind. Sabretooth is another mastermind. And it looks like they're going to make the schemes different artwork. So unless this is like a promo, it looks like the schemes are going to start being all different artwork, which they've done with the MCU sets. But ever since, but the like normal course of the normal expansions, what they have not been doing. So it looks like if they're going to redo that for the core set, they're going to redo that for sets going forward, and this is going to be the first one. It says condition Logan into Weapon X. It says 8 twists include one hero, exactly one hero, Wolverine or Logan in its name. So you've got Old Man Logan, Wolverine from the core set, Wolverine from Wolverine and Colossus, Wolverine from X-Force, and Wolverine from Marvel Knights, which would be in this set. And I think that's all the Wolverines. So 1, 3, and 5, it says induce violent rage. If you don't defeat an enemy worth 2 victory points or more this turn, then after you draw a new hand at the end of the turn, each player discards down to 4 cards. 2, 4, and 6, test the subject's healing factor. Each player discards a green or yellow hero or gains a wound. 7 is Unleash Weapon X. For each Wolverine and or Logan card in the HQ, each player gains a wound, and twist 8 evil wins. So we have villain group Berserkers. So Feral, she becomes a X-Force hero. Berserk. We've got Thorns, Wild Child, and Cyber. We've got another villain group, Weapons Plus. So Weapon 12, Huntsman, Nuke. Weapon 7, Skinless Man. Weapon 3, that's kind of freaky. Typhoid Mary, I can't tell based on that. And then Dakin, which is his son, I believe. So here's Wolverine. He's a Marvel Knight, which Wolverine, Weapon X, and then parentheses Wolverine. Berserk, and then he says you may KO win from hand discard pile. If you do, Berserk again. We have Infused Skeleton with Adamantium. To play this card, you must put a card from your hand on the top of your deck, and then Weapon X sequence. So those are 2 commons. Uncommon, and then the rare is Escape the Weapon X Lab. 3 attack, Weapon X sequence. You play a yellow hero. You may reveal cards from the wound deck until you reveal an enraging wound. Gain that enraging wound to your hand, then put the other cards on the bottom. If you gain a wound this way, Berserk. Okay, so Weapon H is the character that I didn't know that I needed. I forgot about this character a long time ago. This is like Hulk. This is Hulk with claws. So this was like from a comic forever ago. So this is cool. So Weapon H, he's an Avenger. Look at the top card of your deck, discard it, put it back, and then Berserk, you play a green hero. And he's all green and yellow, which works really well with Hulk. Evolving abilities, you may have this card make recruit instead of attack, and if you play a yellow hero, you get +1 attack. Berserk, and then you may KO a card you berserked, which is nice. And then finally, Ultimate Killing Machine, Weapon X sequence, play a green hero using the wound deck, Berserk, putting those discarded wounds on the bottom of the wound deck. Now, the important part about that is that the wounds, the enraged wounds, have attack, so we should be seeing those and cycling through them. I wonder too if the Grievous wounds that have printed attack will count for this too. We have Marrow. She's X-Force. For all of your characters' Berserk abilities this turn, you may get the Berserk cards printed recruit and put that onto their printed attack, and then Berserk. That's nice. Bone Shards. For all your heroes' Berserk abilities this turn, you may get the Berserk cards printed recruit, just like you get their printed attack. So this would give me printed recruit for doing that, for berserking with her. Play an X-Force hero Berserk. Her uncommon, draw 2 cards, put one of them on top of put it in your hand on top of your deck, and then finally Metabolic Overdrive, 3+, a Weapon X sequence, reveal top 6 cards of your deck, discard any of them that cost 0 and put the rest back in any order, and then, yeah. Then we have Phantom X, which I don't know who this is, but he's X-Force as well, at Weapon X sequence. We got Weapon X sequence, getting a recruit instead of attack. If you made at least 3 recruit this way, draw a card. That's cool. Misdirection. When you draw a new hand of cards this turn, then draw an extra card, then put a card from your hand on top of your deck. And then finally his rare, you can't really tell what it says. So here are the Enraged wounds, and they all have printed attack. So Enraged wound, when you defeat a Mastermind tactic this turn, you may KO this wound. They give us attack, but I think there's like hard things to deal with them. So yeah, so that is what we've got going on here with Weapon X. So let's go back into our speculation about the core set here. So let's think about this for a second. So we know that we actually have, so this is the original core set, and this is the parameters we're operating in. We have the original core set here. We know that we have 50 new cards, and Miles Morales, this will not be one of them. So let's do this. So new cards. So assuming all this stays the same, at the very least, we've got to go into speculation mode here. So villain, we know we have a new villain group, at least one. We think there's another mastermind. Oops. We know there are sidekicks. Now, the question with the sidekicks, and I have to look at, are they going to be like the Bucky sidekicks? So we're getting these guys back? And if that's the case, how many of these are there? So of the original sidekicks, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think there's 15, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So let's assume that they're the same. So that puts us at 22 cards left. Now, the question about the officers, are they going to do it to where we have 30 officers and like 20 of them are gray and 10 of them are have classes and then it's like 2 of each class? Are they going to do... I don't think they're going to break the mold of the 30. I think we're still going to have 30. It's just going to be how they're going to be broken up. So that leaves some other speculation. They say, so the back of the box says new schemes. Do we get 4 new schemes maybe? Do we get, okay, so we know we have the 14 heroes, or the 15 heroes. We have the 60 starter cards. We should have 30 wounds. We should have 30 bystanders, regular bystanders. Maybe special, so we know we're going to get special bystanders. We know we're going to get the sidekicks. We know we're going to get... Okay, so let's put a little bit more speculation here. This is tough. Do we have another villain group? So we have special bystanders. We have sidekicks. Unless this bumps up to 30, but that seems like a lot. I think there's gonna, because we could do like 30. That seems like a lot. Let me see if we have any other information. Let me go back to the back of the box. And again, I don't know. You know, there could be stuff that people know about that I'm unaware of. I'm just speculating based on what I know. So 15 heroes. You put their time. Okay, so. Is it new schemes? Are we getting new schemes? Are we going to go up to 12? 10? Okay. Trying to think. Okay, so let's speculate that we're going to have this for sure. So we'll do schemes. Class officers. Villain 2. Okay, so we wanted to work this out. Let's just say there's a possibility that we have 20 and 10 and these stay 30, which leaves maybe 2 more schemes, another villain group, and 12 bystanders. Maybe, possibly. And then that puts 12 bystanders mixed in with the 30, because I think we'll have the normal. Or we have 10 of these. And we have 4 of those. And another villain group. And the officers are just included in the 30. So we have 40 bystanders total, 10 special, 30 regular. We have an extra villain group, which we know we have the 1, but possibly an extra villain group. A new mastermind, so 5 total masterminds. So if we were to take this information, let's do this. And we're going to paste as values only. So this is the current composition of the original core box. So if we were to speculate how to make that, it would look something like this. We know that this is for sure what's happening there. Oh, where did it go? We know that's for sure. We know that's for sure. So this will be 25. This will be 56. Will be 64. That's for sure. We get another henchman group? Maybe? I wonder if we'll get 6 and 12. Because the X-Men set comes with an extra one for both. So maybe we'll get 6 and 12. So that's a possibility. So Master Strike. I mean, it's a very really specific situation, so it's unlikely. We get an extra one of those. That puts this count at putting that at 8 maybe for the... Oh, nope. Oh, this doesn't go all the way down. That's why. So maybe put this at 8. So, okay, so let's kind of take a step back here. So we think maybe... So the sidekicks are being introduced. And again, I'm just basing this on there being 15. There could be 30. And if there's 30, that drastically changes our calculus. Because if there's 30, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. That's probably not going to happen. That's definitely not going to happen. That puts us at 7. That would seem like a lot of sidekicks. So maybe 20. Make this go to 10. I don't know. So I don't think. I think 15 is still pretty safe. So if there's maybe some more schemes, so 12 schemes. Villain groups, we did that. So adding another villain group would be 72. And then we'd have to add in the bystanders, which would make that 40. So that's possibly what the deck composition is for the end of the game. I would be interested to know what you guys think here. I'm pretty confident in this being 30. I'm fairly confident this being 30 total, and we just get some ones that are different colors. And then the bystanders, 40 seems like a lot, but if you're going to throw in, like, you got to think if the replace the Earth Leaders with Doombots, that takes quite a bit of the bystander stack. So padding in some extras with some special ones would be nice. 4 new schemes would be pretty wild. I hope they rework the one to make it usable in solo, because it's not right now. But 4 schemes, that seems like a lot of schemes. So I think the scheme and the bystander thing could fluctuate. The schemes could go down, the bystanders could go up. Or our shield officers are 10 and they just add 1 of every new color or 2 of every color. I don't know how that's going to work. And I think maybe having another villain group might be a lot, because that would be 9 villain groups. I think 8's probably the most they're going to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8 seems like a lot. Maybe we'll get another henchman group. I don't know. This is my quick speculation here. So 9 villains. Or we get 38 here. We get 8 here. And we get another henchman group. Maybe that's my final answer. So that's my speculation. Now, this leads to the ultimate question of what are we going to do with our old set? I'm of 2 minds with this. Part of me feels like if the intent for Upper Deck is to completely abolish the original set, or no longer produce it, it is out of print, then the intent is that the new core set is what we have going forward. Everything's going to be using that, so on and so forth. And you just completely say, hey, we're not using this anymore. Everything new. Here we go. The other kind of mind I have is that we would just incorporate both and say we've got first edition, second edition, first edition Black Widow, second edition Black Widow, so on and so forth. Now, that works to an extent because a lot of the heroes look like they've been changed. However, some of them have not been changed or have been changed so little that it probably doesn't matter, like Cyclops. So then you just have two Cyclopses that are effectively exactly the same. Or you have a nerfed version of Captain America over the original because it goes from color to class. So that's also a change that is very small. And so then it's like, okay, so do I upgrade everything and then just keep Deadpool? That seems weird. You've got one card, one hero in the entire game that you're probably not going to use because there's literally 500 heroes in the game. You have one character that's got the same artwork across the whole deal, and then you don't, whatever. So I don't know. I don't know what the move is. I don't know. I think the nice thing with this game is that we very much can do whatever we want with it. Take out the things you want, keep the things, whatever. But I don't know what I want to do yet. I'm still thinking about it, and I think when the time comes when we get the sets, I have weird OCD. I have to either keep it all or use none of it. That's where I'm kind of leaning towards. And honestly, like if I were to make my gut, if somebody were to tell me like, what are you going to do right now? I would probably just put away the old set and just use the second edition going forward. And that means we don't have Deadpool anymore. So, and thematically speaking, I don't feel like the core set Deadpool really fits in with the rest of Deadpool. It's just weird. So it's not a huge loss to me. If you want to keep him around, I don't think that's a problem either. But it's not like his card or his hero really serves so much of a purpose that like, oh my gosh, if I don't know what to do, if I don't have this, it completely changes the game. Don't think it's that big a deal in the grand scheme of everything. So to me, I'm leaning really towards completely swapping out every single thing that is from a core set, the original core set, and switching it out for the new core set. That's where I'm leaning. If you haven't, done my poll and decided what you guys are going to do yet, or think about what you're doing right now, I'd be interested to know. I think when we get closer to the release of the new core set, I'm going to try this again and see what you guys think. We'll have probably more information at that point. But yeah, I think that's probably what I'm going to do. That's what I'm leaning towards, especially because it will look more consistent with the artwork having different stuff, all that other stuff. Now, it does lead to an interesting point that someone made about, are they going to do this for old stuff? So is old stuff getting re-released or updated with the second edition, whether it be throwing a bunch of like small boxes into a big box or heroes here and there, what have you. That I don't know how I feel about, because there, to me, doesn't really seem like there's a need to fix those. The only thing I think would be needing to fix would be some like erratas on certain things, but ultimately it's not that big a deal. I don't think a re-release of certain heroes, like redoing half the heroes in Dark City or doing half the heroes in Fantastic Four or whatever, is really necessary. I think this core set, the way that I look at the old stuff, the jump between the core set, the original core set, and Dark City, I think has a bigger gap between Dark City and like the newest stuff. Now the newest stuff, they've got very creative with the keywords, but I feel like the Dark City stuff does a very good job at being in line with current Marvel Legendary, if that makes sense. I think the core set, I genuinely believe that the core set is more of an outlier to the overall Legendary experience as a present day than Dark City being farther away from the current stuff, if that makes sense. Like I think the gap between the core set and Dark City is wider in terms of just how it fits into the overall thing than the oldest expansions to the newest expansions. I think that gap is much closer. So if anything, this brings things up. It modernizes a lot of those, because I think a lot of those Dark City heroes are still really good. And not to say that the core set heroes are bad by any means, but like Spider-Man in the core set, my favorite character of all time, he's pretty useless. He's like one of the worst cards in the game. Just is, you know, and it makes me sad because I want to use Spider-Man and he sucks. So, you know, that alone makes him, I mean, the changes to him make him significantly better. I think it's going to be better, and I think it's going to be more in line with how stuff is now, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the artwork change, swapping everything out, baby. We're going to do it. So I'd really like to know what you guys think about the changes, think about what you're going to do with your old set. And I have an interesting idea that I'm going to do with my old cards, especially if I don't end up using them. If I end up keeping them in boxes, I'll keep them, and we'll keep using them. But the twists, the shield officers, everything, all that stuff's getting switched out. And I'm going to probably align my stacks to be consistent with the new core set. So if, for example, you know, the original core set has 30 bystanders and the new set has, you know, less than or more than 30 normal bystanders, I'm going to be going off of that. Same with the wounds, same with this. The sidekicks will be interesting because if the sidekicks are different from the Bucky 2 card draws, then they'll be mixed in with what we have because the sidekicks were introduced in a expansion. So I don't know if they're going to replace the. I think that they came. When did what did the Bucky ones come in? Because I think the pets came in Civil War. The Bucky cards came in Secret Wars Volume 1. So if they are completely different, like if they're like we'll see how they are. That'll change. If they're going to be the same, I'll probably swap them out for artwork's sake. But if they're different, they just get added in. But like, however the starting metrics for those particular things are going to be, I will likely use those as the how I set up all my stuff. And like the core set for the second edition will be like my base core set, if that makes sense. Like I didn't mix in the what if wounds. I didn't mix in the what if bystanders and things like that. So it's just, there's one core set dictating the base of those stacks, and then the expansions are going to add to it. So we'll see what the sidekicks are like. I think they'll be Bucky's because they're not reproducing the big boxes. So this is a way for people to get those pot of greeds. But we'll see. I want to know what you guys think about this. I know it's a long video, but there's a lot to talk about. So until next time, I'll see you guys later this week for some Marvel Champions, some Marvel Legendary. And thank you guys so much. What a week, or what a month for us to go and lose Deadpool, dedicating a whole month to Deadpool. So anyway, thank you guys so much. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.